Hey Mochis, come on in because today we are talking about Johnny Somali, aka the poster boy for terrible influencers who harass people in public, especially in foreign countries. Like, he's really playing with around and find out. Right now, mostly finding out. We've covered old Johnny Boy before on this channel, and the last time we saw this DLC character, he was banned from Japan and was set to set foot in Korea very soon. See, it's because he was only beaten up like once in Japan that I don't think he's learned his lesson yet, and he thought that the Koreans would also not care. Spoiler alert, he's wrong. First off, Korea has military conscription, meaning every Korean man has to go through the military for a while. And that's why you don't f around at K-pop concerts, okay? Jungkook will jump your ass if you don't behave. I probably just wrote the premise for a Wattpad. Point being, Koreans are a lot more likely to have him find out if he f***s around. Anyways, it took him a couple of months, but he eventually landed in Korea after almost getting beaten up again in Israel. Is it just me, or is it a terrible f***ing idea to go to all these places that have mandatory military conscription? You're just asking to get punched. I'm shocked he's still alive, to be quite honest. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about what Johnny has been up to since he got to Korea, and let's say he's been on some bizarre adventures. He's currently in jail right now, facing charges with possibly up to 10 years in prison. Jeez, like, I know that Korean law can be pretty lax and all sometimes. I just actually wonder what he did to do a possible 10-year sentence. Okay, I have to read his rap sheet later. But let's see what led him to this point. So, motive. Why is Johnny doing this?
So what do you want to talk about? Swing or not? Like, gonna come up to me, bro, why are you being racist to other people in other countries? For money!
Okay, at least he's being honest. For money! That's why I'm being an annoying and racist imbecile, okay? Like, just for the clout, for the money.
I don't give a I have no morals. I'm a sociopath. I don't give a
Yes, Johnny, we know.
Put this in your next YouTube documentary. I don't give a
Now, when I travel to different countries, it's expected I pay the basic level of respect. Spoiler alert, that's not what happened here. He starts off with his usual annoying instances of disturbing the peace.
Ringtone. It's my ringtone, son.
Such as in this clip at a convenience store, where he's apparently drinking, throws food onto the street, and then he proceeds to pour ramen water all over the table? This is actually insane, guys, okay? This is a man-child. Like, I get that he's doing this for the clout, but not all attention is good attention, as he's about to find out. Because not only was he beaten up in Japan, but he got whooped in Korea too. And that's because with all of this negative attention, the Korean public has turned to bounties.
Bounty.
So what happens when you piss off a whole country full of military men, who many of which also love to stream? You get bounties put on your head. To be honest, I didn't even know that bounty hunting was still a thing. I thought that was some Boba Fett or Dog the Bounty Hunter shit. Anyways, there was a bounty out for Johnny, with a lot of Korean streamers looking to hunt him down, all for some sweet karmic justice. Like they're Batman or something.
Sorry, Batman.
In fact, he has so much bounties on him that they call him the Golden Goblin because of all the loot and rewards that you get for finding him. God, he even looks like the Golden Goblin. Eventually, he was found and beaten, including once where he got tossed around like a rag doll by Yoo Dal-gun, a Korean streamer who was also a former UDT/Navy SEAL. This guy pissed off a Korean Navy SEAL? This is the guy that would literally shoot people in the face for his country and could probably break a man with his bare hands. And this is the guy that's hunting Johnny? What? He really isn't in Japan anymore, huh? Being Johnny Somali must be like being in a real-life Yakuza game, where you can turn a random corner and all of a sudden there's like 4 guys on there who will be waiting to give you an ass whooping for whatever reason. Because that's what happens when you piss off a whole country. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that live streamers are paying $700 to those who find and record him, like to stalk this guy. Of course, I'm not condoning this behavior at all, but it's just insane that they've kind of formed this anti-Johnny Somali Justice League made up with like a Korean Navy SEAL and like a squad of stalker streamers. And sure, some people might feel bad for him, basically being hunted down by a whole country, but with his history of being a complete disrespectful goober of a nuisance wherever he goes, there is no one who is sorry for this guy. It's gotten bad enough to the point where the police have to put him into custody for his own protection. You know it's bad when the cops have to keep you in jail to prevent your ass from getting jumped? Like, what has sparked all this anger though, besides him just being an annoying This brings us to one of the most disgusting things he's ever done. And believe me folks, he's done a lot of disgusting things. Was taking videos of himself kissing and twerking on the Statue of Peace in Seoul. Okay, but what makes this so offensive besides the awful twerking? It's about that statue right there. It's a symbol meant to represent Korean comfort women. To those of you who don't know, they were women and girls who were forced into sexual slavery by the Japanese army when Korea was under colonized ruling during and before the Second World War. And there were an estimated up to 200,000 women who were forced into this. So this statue is a remembrance to those women who were sadly put through that. And this is a huge deal to this day for countries like Korea. To get a sense of how serious this is to Koreans, this is like if somebody vandalized a war memorial or the 9/11 memorial. But this goober, he didn't only do it to one statue, but to several. It was serious enough, in fact, that the South Korean parliament held a session where they just watched clips of his actions at the statue.
하지 않았습니다. 소녀상을 모독하는 행위도 자신의 방송을 통해 공개했습니다.
This man is cooked. Like, overcooked.
You're cooking in a burnt pan, you fucking dick!
Not only that, but his antics are so notorious that they landed on South Korean state media. On a nationwide scale, the whole country knows about him being a complete disrespectful idiot. Another one of Johnny's troubles are potential deepfake charges. And Korea is very strict on those, especially right now. He allegedly shared an AI-generated video of himself kissing a Korean streamer and claiming to the public that this was his Korean girlfriend. So yeah, the police are apparently looking into that too. I also feel that his actions are going to make the reputation of foreign tourists in Korea, just like those influx of influencers in Japan that we've seen recently, but that's for another video. But seriously, this guy is the poster child for terrible influencer tourists. And I have no doubt in my mind that Korea wants to make a legitimate example out of this guy, just to show the world that you can't go to foreign countries and act like a complete asshat and disrespect other countries, and unlike Japan, I don't think Korea's gonna let him go that easy. Okay, being a disrespectful arse, unfortunately isn't too illegal outside of just disturbing the peace laws. So what is this about him possibly getting 10 years in jail? So according to the Seoul Mapo police station, god damn, that's a big station. Jeez, I wonder what their budget is. Johnny's under investigation for obstruction of business and alleged drug use. He's also on a travel ban, so he can't even leave the country. The Seoul police also say that he's under investigation for that incident at the convenience store. So Somali allegedly disrupted store operations by pouring instant noodles onto a table after being stopped from drinking alcohol by an employee. When the employees intervened, he responded with abusive and vulgar language. Not gonna lie, that's the most Johnny Somali thing I've ever heard. Also, I was looking up what Korean prisons look like. It's not like the US where you just have like a cellmate, but it's with like 5 people and you sleep on the floor and you gotta share like a squatty potty. So if Johnny does end up going to prison, he's gonna be surrounded with like 4 or 5 criminals who are very well aware of who he is and what he did. I don't think he's gonna be laughing so much if he gets put into one of those. Now, there's also unverified information from a Reddit user who gives a lot more details and context. And again, I haven't been able to verify this independently, but basically, there's the stuff that we already know, plus a count of assault and several charges for sexual harassment. And that there's still a lot of Korean streamers out there looking for him, either to boost their own platform or anger towards Johnny for his actions. And apparently the Korean mafia is out for him as well. I mean, in Japan, Johnny faced Japanese streamers as well and possibly Yakuza. But if this current trip is any indication, I doubt the Koreans would be anything like that. And he even has his own Korean cafe. No, not that kind of Korean cafe. Page dedicated to him. Like, that's where all the netizens go to find information about people. But yeah, drug charges are no joke in Asia. So if you get caught with some wacky tobacco over there, you're either doing some hard time or you're gonna get caned. Also, apparently there's talks among politicians who want to boost their approval rating by making an example out of Johnny. But yeah, apparently just the drug and disturbing a business charges could land him over 10 years. Quick update here on Johnny Boy. He's been officially indicted by a South Korean court and will face trial, and as we know from before, he's banned from leaving the country. I know some headlines are saying that he's facing up to 29 years in prison, but that's when all charges are stacked up, okay? So don't get too excited yet, folks. Honestly, I can see him doing a few years since the government really wants to make an example out of him. Definitely not 29 years, and I don't think he's gonna get the 10 years that was first reported anyways, but a few years plus deportation? I can definitely see that. Anyways, back to our regular programming. But yeah, there's some people who say, hey, maybe he's learned his lesson. He'll be respectful, he'll turn a new leaf. But this isn't the first time he's done something like this. He's been arrested and beaten time and time again. And at this point, he's just a menace to society. Every society. My god, what a douchebag. Also, he's so lucky that most of BTS is still in the military right now, especially since he threatened to slap them. Given that Jae Young is literally a special forces SWAT officer, at the end of all this, ladies and gentlemen, what I've learned is that oftentimes if you go to an unfamiliar or foreign country, if you f around, you'll find out. Anyways, my mochis, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this whole Johnny Somali thing. Be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace!